Hey, Eric.
Hey, John. How are you?
I'm doing okay, doing okay. How about you? How are you doing this week?
As you know, this is the countdown to wedding day week. We're 4 days left and counting. 3 days. We're getting close. We're getting close. So
I guess,
it's
yeah. Yeah.
all wedding all the time this week. We drove out from home, uh, staying at Grandma's house, heading down for the wedding on Friday. So
That must have been a long drive on Sunday.
yes, it was. But I actually, my wife would prefer to split it, and I had just done a long drive that we split, and I was more. I can't sleep in two different hotels, 3 nights in a row again, and I just drove. So
You're like, power through. Power
that's
through.
right. That's right. We powered
Yeah.
through. It was all good. It was all good. So I have nothing else this week. I have nothing to report other than
Nothing to report.
all wedding.
You're
all
like,
the time.
it's, you are the father of the bride. You are the
Yes,
father of the
yes,
bride.
I am.
It's mostly irrelevant to you, entirely irrelevant to you, but my parents should actually be driving through Utah
Oh,
maybe tomorrow.
okay.
Maybe, yeah, probably tomorrow. It just like they're the spring migration north. I think my mom said this was maybe a week and a half ago. She's like, yeah, it was 108 in Phoenix. It's time for us to leave town. And,
Yeah.
But they were driving up through. This is not between Arizona and Oregon, but they went up to the Four Corners area and Monument Valley, and we're kind of
Okay.
doing a roundabout way to make it to
Weaving their
Oregon.
way. Okay.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should be here Thursday, and lots of stuff going on. But we have symphony tickets on Saturday night, so you'll be
Okay.
post wedding exhaustion / excitement / whatever the
Yeah.
term is, and we will be going to see John Williams. Well, it's not actually John Williams; it's John Williams's music. In
Like just a whole medley. It's fantastic. From Star Wars to Superman, Indiana, you name it. E.T. All the good things.
he all the music is from John Williams.
Yes, all the good stuff.
as far as I can tell, practically.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, my parents were like, "Could you?" Because I had said, "Oh, yeah, but you're welcome, but we have tickets for the symphony that Saturday." And my mom's like, "Is there any chance we could get a second pair of tickets?" So, anyway, it'll be good. Well, I have one minor bit of B news. And
Okay.
we can go on, but so
Did you get another hive?
I actually spent a couple days this weekend or this week out at the coast, and as I was driving out on Sunday evening, the kind of farmer in the front, as I was driving out, he kind of waved me down, and he was like, "Hey, I caught my 4th swarm this spring, and I don't have any more equipment. And do you want it?" And I was like, yes, but I'm leaving. And he was like, "Well, I could I only had one box left. It's not a deep box. It's just a super, but it's sitting on a piece of plywood in the back of my truck." like I don't know how much more farmer you could get than that. But anyway, but I was like, "Ooh, you know what? Because my wife is really smart, and because I listen to her, she was like, 'You caught 2 swarms. You should put out empty boxes and see if you can catch another one.'" And so I had put out an empty box, like not very far away from where he and I were talking. And I was like, oh, you know what? I can't stay. But if you want to just stick it in that empty box that I put over there, that would be great. And he was like, "Oh, that would be awesome." So I free. The price was right. Work, nothing, I guess. I mean, I haven't walked up there to see if it's actually in there or talked to him since I've been home, but I presume, and tomorrow I'll probably walk out there and see. But yeah, I think I got a free swarm for $0 and zero effort. So
Nice.
I was like, oh, well, okay, that could be cool. That could be cool.
Here's to smart wives.
Of course. But anyway, so that was I had actually just spent a couple hours on Sunday, because Sunday was the nice day here,
right,
on the weekend, putting in the final mite treatment of the spring and putting some extra deep boxes on, doing all the bee things. Anyway, but there we go. So that
Cool.
would be number 7. So I went from 0 to 7 in record time.
Well
my
done.
wife's like, that's good because I want honey. And I was like, and I told her, I was like, I don't know that we're going to get any honey this year. And she's like, John, you say that every single year. I'm like, do I? I guess I just want to like set expectations low and exceed
Scotty
them.
theory of
or
honey
something.
gathering.
But I didn't think that I did, but she literally rolled her eyes at me and was like, you say that every single year. I'm like, but I had 0. There were none. Anyway, but so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Who
Okay.
knows? There you go. That's my John has fun with bees update.
Okay.
But, all right. AI all the things.
AI all the
AI
things.
all the things all the time.
So I was reading
As
Wall
one does.
Street Journal. We talked about it
Okay.
last week.
Yes.
Anthropic Mythos.
We will talk about it
They've
next week.
slowly handed that out to a small number of different companies. And last week we talked about how Firefox found a whole bunch of bugs and how Mythos found and solved a whole bunch of problems. This week, a story about Apple. So, I mean, Apple loves to talk about how macOS is the most secure OS.
Of course.
Apparently, all you need is Mythos.
Well.
So a Palo Alto security firm called Caliph, I'm going with the beginning of the word California, they got an early preview of Anthropic's AI model Mythos, and they didn't just ask the AI to hack the Mac. They worked with Mythos to chain bugs together to find a privilege escalation exploit. So they were able to trigger a memory corruption and get into the restricted lockdown areas of the Mac. So
Interesting.
Caliph's CEO noted that while Mythos couldn't do it solo, they still had humans in the loop there to do some of the heavy conceptual lifting. The AI acted like the ultimate junior developer. Just did everything you asked it to do. The AI wrote the complex exploit code, and the whole thing just took 5 days. So
Wow.
the researchers, super stoked about pulling this off on Mac OS, literally drove down to Apple's Cupertino headquarters and hand-delivered a 55-page report. It's a little old school hacker flex there.
Funny. Very funny. So I wonder though, because Apple's bug bounty, I don't remember what their top is for the Mac. I know it's even higher for the iPhone, but it's not trivial. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would expect.
So
I wonder.
I wonder if I'm sure they will get something, but they're keeping the exact technical details under lock and key for now, as Apple is reviewing and working on a patch. So look forward to...
I don't think they waited 90 days after the responsible disclosure.
No, 26.5.1, whenever that comes out, you probably will have the fix, and that's when I imagine we'll know what it was.
Yeah.
So, anyways...
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I think it's just entertaining, the 55-page hand delivery, because they printed it on the nice paper, they bound it.
I was going to say, remember the paper that you used to print your resumes on, the kind of thick, fibrous, not papyrus. What do you call that? That really thick, like business
cardstock type stuff. Not cardstock.
Anyway,
but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So, anyways.
Paper. We used to print things on paper.
Yeah. I would love to be a fly on the wall when the researchers showed up at Apple headquarters with a 55-page book and said,
Right.
"Hey,
Right.
just thought you might want to know."
Here you go.
So,
Or the
there you go. That's
receptionist or whoever that
Yeah.
that took them and was like, "I'm sorry, you want to what? No, this is legit."
Yeah.
Anyway,
So there you go. That's my
okay.
topic for the week.
Okay,
Which
well, it
will
is
probably
ironic
continue next week.
because I also picked out a Mythos thing, but first,
Okay.
first, Krebs article on CISA got rid of a lot of people a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And maybe they replaced them with contractors. I don't know. I'm like, this is John telling a story in his head, which is never probably a good thing. But the story that came out, today's the 19th, so it came out yesterday, was CISA admin leaked AWS Gov Cloud keys on GitHub. Oops. So this is the agency that tells everyone else not to leak cloud secrets,
right,
had a contractor expose highly privileged AWS GovCloud credentials in a public GitHub repository named Private-CISA.
Well, they named it correctly.
Like piling on. I don't know. So, so Krebs reports it has cloud keys, tokens, plain text passwords, logs, internal build, test, and deploy files, and access material for CISA and DHS systems. Yeah, it's the kind of event that sounds like a training example, but CISA is supposed to be the trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much, we can move to the next topic relatively quickly on this, because this is kind of a little bit of shade throwing probably on, like it's really important to get this stuff right. It's really hard to get this stuff right.
Yeah.
And I one of the other things I guess that was in here was that GitGuardian flagged the repository when its scanners detected the sensitive material, but the owner did not respond. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, please don't commit creds, tokens, secrets in GitHub ever.
Nothing ever good comes from that.
Yeah. So, and there's lots of tools these days to try and find it. Pre-commit hooks. Lots of stuff to help. But okay. So that was topic 1.5. So my other topic that I brought today was I actually looked at this and then I was like, oh hey, look at the author of this. You and I both know him. So Cloudflare. Was it just last week I had a Cloudflare article? I think I did. Cloudflare also got Mythos and pointed it. Yes, code, but Cloudflare's focus is mostly on infrastructure. So yes, running code, but trying to find the exploits that can be advantaged in their infrastructure, along with all the other security controls and everything else that they've already got in place, like some of the things we talked about last week. But so, I really liked this article about, it's not just, this sounds like the similar experience for the Caliph guys that your article was about. It's not just, hey, point it at this code. There's a workflow that needs to happen. But one of the cool things that Grant mentioned about this was being able to turn a cycle of a hypothesis, test to prove it, sample, analysis, kind of like a REPL loop. But that's if you can get it to work smoothly and cleanly, And then at LLM speeds, that's how you can actually do some of this work in the 5 days that you mentioned, or in amounts of time. So,
Right.
It's rare that, I guess I don't know the statistics, but I would say it's frequent that you need multiple exploits in order to actually combine something together. So your example had a 2-step. It's often the case that you need, one exploit and then take that to, I think memory corruption, take that to a buffer overflow so that you can control, and then get privilege escalation, or, remote code execution or something like that. But, the quote in here, I'll actually quote something from the article. It says, a real attack rarely uses one bug. It chains several small attack primitives together into a working exploit. For example, it might use a use after free bug into an arbitrary read and write primitive, hijack the control flow, and use return-oriented programming or ROP chains to take full control over a system. Mythos Preview can take several of these primitives and reason about how to combine them into a working proof. The reasoning it shows along the way looks like the work of a senior researcher rather than the output of an automated scanner. So the interesting thing about this is not that AI found the bugs. It's kind of what's the operational question of how do you route the findings? How do you validate them? How do you manage the noise? How do you preserve context? And in my head, that means for reproducibility. How can you scale humans in the loop without slowing the loop down so much that you become more vulnerable, or that you slow remediation to a crawl? The concern, the future, I think that we're seeing here, the immediate future we're seeing here, is that like security teams are about to receive vulnerability reports generated by machines that they can't triage fast enough, or that at least traditional methods and mechanisms aren't going to really scale to. So, when it comes to the actual exploit generation, the kind of another quote out of this is that, finding a bug and proving it's exploitable are two different things. So Mythos Preview, Grant says, can do both. It writes code that would trigger the suspected bug, compiles that code in a scratch environment, and runs it. If the program does what the model expected, that's the proof. If it doesn't, the model reads the failure, adjusts its hypothesis, and tries again. The loop matters as much as the bugs it finds, because a suspected flaw without a working proof is speculation, and Mythos Preview closes that gap on its own. That's kind of the gold nugget, I think. And I'm interested / curious to see whether this will be kind of unique, or whether, OpenAI's offering is going to do something similar. You mentioned you were able to see Google's Google I/O announcement today. I have not watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing some of it. Like, what's Google going to do with Gemini, and how they're each attacking it. And I guess the other kind of news item I saw today, although I didn't actually have a chance to get into any details, I saw that Facebook did a massive reorganization and was like, pushing 7,000 people or something like that into more AI jobs. And they were early on in the open model training, although they've seemingly kind of
not kept up,
not really kept up, as they've been, I'll say, distracted with the metaverse, but
sorry.
Anyway, no comment. Enough said. Something along those lines. Anyway, I like the article. You should read it. It's good. Like I said, more next week.
I'm sure.
I have no doubt.
Yes. The gift that will keep on giving for the foreseeable future, Mythos.
I really, really, really want to know, and maybe it's out there and I just haven't seen it fly by yet. was the Reddit post on the speculation on that it took like $10 billion to train a Mythos? Is that hyperbolic?
I don't know.
Is it?
I don't think
is
I've
it
ever
true?
seen.
I don't know. Everything on Reddit's true, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's for some value of truthiness.
Okay.
Anyway. All right.
Something
Hit me
fun?
up with something fun.
All right. So I'm sure you've heard about the sculpture called Cryptos.
Wait.
What?
Yes, I have. This has been solved?
No, hold. So there is a sculpture,
sorry. Okay.
Cryptos, at CIA headquarters in Virginia, and it was dedicated in 1990. And there are 4 messages, the first 3 of which have been solved.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the 4th message remains as one of the most famous unsolved codes in the world. The artist is now getting older, and it's kind of like, hey, no one's solving this. I need some of that. So some stuff has been going on there. But the interesting thing to me that I found is the artist has given 4 additional clues to the fourth message. But in September of 2025, so 7-8 months ago, a couple journalists discovered several documents among papers donated by the artist Jim Sanborn to the Smithsonian, and they contain scraps of text that, when assembled together, produced what likely appeared to be the full plain text of the 4th message, K4, the solution. And they submitted the text to Sanborn, the sculptor, who confirmed its accuracy in explaining that he had mistakenly included those scraps in the donated archives while compiling documents during cancer treatment earlier. So shortly thereafter, Sanborn asked the Smithsonian to seal the relevant files for the next 50 years, so until 2075, and the Smithsonian complied. But that means there are 2 journalists who know the answer to K4.
That's awesome.
But they are not saying, which is good for them.
Good for them.
But Sanborn was asked. And one of the other pieces of this was in an open letter in August of 2025. Sanborn confirmed the existence of a 5th message, K5, which will be revealed after K4 has been solved. So K4 has essentially been solved because...
Not really. It's been disclosed.
It's been disclosed. There you go. But so we'll see what happens. But anyways, this is all kind of... I hadn't read that part of it because apparently he tried to auction off, or he did auction off, the plain text of K4 to someone, but they were required as part of the auction to keep it a secret. Just in case he passed away, at least it was known by somebody.
Somebody would know to...
Well, now there's journalists who know. So
now there's 3.
Yeah.
And then there were 3.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought that was cool. I didn't know that part. I mean, I knew about the statue or the sculpture. I knew the first 3 had been solved. Okay. I was unaware that 4 is essentially known.
Oh, I really thought
that there is a K5.
I really thought this was going to be that somebody figured it out. Which
for some definition of figured it out.
Investigative journalism as opposed to crypto analysis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, there's my something fun. Go read up. I just linked the Wikipedia article. There's a bunch of other articles for it, but.
That's awesome.
Good fun. There you go.
Okay. That is definitely something fun. Okay. My something fun is like barely fun, I guess, at least in my
depends on
in our history stuff, but
depends on who's doing the grading.
I've read a lot of articles on arXiv.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not as much as I read on like Science Daily or Krebs or other places, but
right.
So arXiv is putting down its foot and instituting some pretty onerous penalties for AI-generated slop being pushed to arXiv or attempted to be published on arXiv. So the comments from a board member who actually evidently is from the Oregon State University. Although I was like, I don't think I know him. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been a student there for 30 years, so I guess why would I? Anyway, so it's not anti-AI in principle. It's anti-garbage is the statement.
Of course.
I am aligned.
Yes.
No arguments.
The less garbage I have to read.
Yeah, I mean, preprint servers are important, and this is there's a lot of, especially in the science domain, there's a lot of preprints where they get feedback and improve it before they go up for peer review. And so that's kind of the penalty here. I don't know about final penalty. Any authors on a paper found to contain what they say, hallucinated references, bogus figures, plagiarized text, or machine-generated filler, the cost is not just annoyance. It's search pollution, reviewer fatigue, and erosion of trust. And so they will get a 1-year suspension ban from posting to arXiv. And even after that, they can only post if it's been accepted by a journal, aka it's gone through peer review. Which for people who need to publish, that's like taking the bar and taking it from like, oh my gosh, you're really good at limbo, up to like really high. So
are you under 6 feet tall? You can make it.
Yeah. So I saw this and I was like, good. I like that. Good for you. You use AI as a tool, not a co-author.
There is a lot of AI slop out there. So I generally don't run in the AI slop circles. At least I don't think I do, but I see a lot of it.
I spent all day today, most of the day today, going back and forth with Claude trying to figure out a stupid bug that I feel like if I don't know. I'm feeling like Claude let me down today.
I will tell you, Gemini let me down. I've been my oldest daughter graduated with her master's, and so I've been trying to help her find a job. So I had Gemini just scour, the internet for jobs. Here's the master's degree from this area. Here's the area she wants to live in. Find me job postings. And it would just give me job postings every day. And I started sending them to her as, hey, have you seen this one? And she comes back and says, that doesn't exist, Dad. I can't find that. So I asked Gemini, hey, these don't appear to be real. What's up? Oh, well, there were none from that day, so I gave some examples of what a posting might look like.
Gemini is really bad for hallucinating. I have had some similar situations where I've been using Gemini. I'm like,
really?
You have to give me the links, and then it gave me the links, and I was like, you hallucinated the links. Like those links don't exist. Oh yeah, that's right. I made them up. It's like.
It at least cops to making stuff up, though. I will give it that. It has a cop to, I made that up. But it was to give you an example.
It does, but never do that. Anyway.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Gemini is worse than some at that. Maybe it's better than others, but it's not better than most of the ones that I use. But anyway.
All right. Well, good stuff,
all right,
John.
This has been Complaints About AI. All right, my friend.
More next week.
Good luck this week.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Oh, will do.
Enjoy.
All right. Have a good night, John.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.